WrestleZone presents Lost in the Midcard. Here are your hosts, Jeremy Bennett and Matt Black.
What's up, everybody? It's Matt Black here for another episode of Lost in the Midcard. I am waiting on my co-host, Jeremy Bennett, who will be here eventually. But until then, I say we talk. It's WrestleMania week. Everybody should be excited. Let's freaking, let's go to the chat and see what everybody's doing. We got Marcho in here, Evening Midcarders. Okay. I don't know about that name, but I mean, I might be all right with it. We got Daryl in the chat. We got Charles in the chat. WrestleMania week is one of the best weeks of the year. Should be a damn good episode of Raw tonight from Barclays Center. Got Ozzy. It's time for Jeremy to be Captain Jack Sparrow. No, it's time for Jeremy to show his ass up to the show. So I'm hoping we're gonna freaking have him in here with us soon. Lost in the Matt card. Look, we're scheduled to be on 7:10. I give him a minute. If he's not on by then, I hop on and I talk to you guys until he gets here. I mean, that's just how it works. He'll be here eventually. Jeremy, I don't think he's doing an April 1st bit. I think he's running behind with work, and when he runs behind with work, he's these situations happen. I can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. So, yeah, Andrew's saying hi. She's super excited for WrestleMania 40. I'm excited too. I think it's going to be a really good show. I think Cody's going to finish his story on Sunday, and I think a lot of people are going to leave Philadelphia very happy by the time WrestleMania week is all said and done. I don't know if on the whole effing show, I still believe that's Rob Van Dam. But I appreciate the love, Daryl. I appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, man. We gotta get together and do something soon, man. I haven't seen you in a while. JB is the Roman team. I mean, JB shows up a lot more than Roman does. Okay, let's not do that. But for now, what do you guys, to quote Cody Rhodes? What do you want to talk about? What are we going to talk about until JB gets here? We've got some cool things on the deck. We're going to talk AEW Collision. We're going to talk the Bray Wyatt documentary. The reports of the impending return of Bo Dallas to WWE. We're going to hit you with predictions for Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor, NXT Stand and Deliver, and WrestleMania 40. So we've got a stacked show planned for you guys. So talk about what? That's what I'm asking. What do you want me to talk about? Somebody's got to help me out here. Give me a topic. There we go. Aussie. So Jade is teaming up with Naomi. Oh, she's also teaming up with Bianca. Jade made her official, I guess, main roster debut on Friday. I thought her presentation was great. I thought her promo wasn't. But that's honestly my main issue I had with Jade in AEW. I don't think she's a good promo. I think she would definitely benefit from WWE giving her a mouthpiece or a manager or something in the months ahead. I don't know if they're going to do that. But I thought she looked like a badass at the end of SmackDown, came down, saved the day, teaming with Bianca and Naomi at Mania. I think that's a very easy conclusion about how that match is going to go. And here he is, Roman Reigns. Jeremy Bennett, what's up, buddy? Show up for work.
I just got off work. Man, had a great April Fool's Day open too, but oh well, that all got wasted because I got stuck.
Marcio called you the Roman of the team earlier. I'm ratting him out, putting it up on the board.
Let's see. I've been on every single episode of Lost in the Midcard that's been in existence. Matt hasn't. So that is
I show up 99% of the time, sir.
But anyways. Well, I'm going to do the open anyways, because fuck it. Welcome to the podcast where for the entire show, we pay tribute to the greatest world champion of all time, Vince Russo. April Fools. It's Lost in Medicare. Hey, welcome. Do you believe it already? We are on the go-home show of WrestleMania. What have we talked about so far?
We're just talking about chat. We talked about Jade's debut on SmackDown on Friday. I ran down the topics for everybody, so we didn't get into any of the main topics before you got here.
Yeah,
I've just been chit chatting with the live chat, brother.
Hell yeah. It's crazy. That it's already here. We've got all sorts of stuff all weekend.
Daryl's right. I show up and win, JB.
I don't know about that.
Just so you know. That's how it is.
I'm not so sure about that, but wild week leading up. I mean, Jesus, I don't know, man. It's been a while since there's been this good of a lead up to WrestleMania, don't you think?
But yeah, the main events have been sold tremendously. I feel the undercard has been drastically underbuilt, but when the main events of the two nights are so heavily stacked, that's all anybody's really talking about anyway. So it really doesn't take away from it. I think if executed properly, I think they have all the potential in the world for WrestleMania 40 to be an all-timer this weekend in Philly. As long as they don't drop the ball and get too cute with their booking, I think shit's gonna be really good this weekend. I really do.
Yeah, and like some of the stuff that was really lacking, I thought they did a good job the past 2 weeks of building it up. Especially LA Knight and AJ Styles, I think they've done a real good job of, and they've did a pretty good job with Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, where that was kind of lacking as well. So I think those have been a lot better going into it, and of course the main events, and of course
Ozzy, I can answer this for you right now. March Madness.
Yeah,
TNT has March Madness coverage this Saturday night for the Final Four. So Collision will start when that coverage is over. It's currently scheduled for 11:30, but if those games go long or go into overtime or whatever, Collision will start when TNT's coverage of NCAA basketball concludes. So basically, I'm expecting WrestleMania to be from 7 to 11, maybe go a couple minutes over 11. And then I'm expecting, Collision to be on 30 minutes later. It's going to be a long night for wrestling fans on Saturday night. There's going to be a lot of stuff to take in this weekend. Yeah. So honestly, Saturday is loaded from top to bottom. You stand and deliver in the morning, and to go into the afternoon, then you have WrestleMania itself, and then you got Collision. Like, my God, like, how could you say wrestling fans aren't eating good in 2024 because of the content that we're getting?
There's going to be
absolutely insane.
There's going to be a GCW show at like midnight.
Oh, I'm sure there is. They always do. The indie events are always loaded.
Yeah, I'm not sure if spring break is on
weekend. So
I'm not sure if spring break is on Friday or Saturday. I'll have to check. Yeah, they got kind of confused on. I think it was SmackDown. With Stand and Deliver, they're saying Sunday, but the graphic said Saturday. It's Saturday morning, right?
Yeah, Stand and Deliver Saturday. Did the graphics say it's Sunday?
No, the commentator said Sunday. Either Graves.
They probably just misspoke. No, Stand and Deliver Saturday morning. I think it's at noon or 1 o'clock. It's one or the other. It's definitely Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's the way it has been for the past couple of years at least. Where the hell?
What the hell?
I was trying to get the official start time.
Oh, Daryl confirmed
11.
noon.
Okay, so there's a half hour. Yeah, there's a half-hour kickoff show.
So 11:30. But
11:30 Eastern.
The main show starts at noon. You don't need to worry about nothing till noon.
Yeah. Let's say start getting kickoff shows again. I hope to God, if the kickoff shows for WrestleMania are fucking 2 hours,
They
I hope
are
to God they have matches.
5 to 7 both nights.
They better
And
have some matches.
as far as I know, there are currently no matches scheduled for either of them.
It's insane. I mean,
it's just why I was very annoyed that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was announced for SmackDown this Friday again.
yeah.
Like, this is a bad Vince tradition, and this is something Triple H can change, because there's a whole lot of talent in that Battle Royal on Friday night that absolutely deserve to be able to compete in front of 50,000 plus people in that stadium on Saturday night. And I'm not saying make room for them on the main show, but you have a freaking 2-hour kickoff. And if you're trying to tell me you can't do a men's battle royal on Saturday night and a women's battle royal on Sunday, or vice versa, on those shows, to me it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, and I can't understand the logic of anybody needing to watch 4 hours of kickoff content over a weekend that's going to have so much wrestling on as it is without a single match involved.
Yeah,
I have no desire to watch that stuff if there's not going to be any matches on them.
I mean, I'll have it on, but
I'll boot it up like, 6 o'clock, 6:30 or whatever. Like, I'm not tuning in at 5. There's no freaking way. There's no point.
But yeah, I don't know why they're doing that. And back to my point about the WrestleMania really taking shape. I mean, the end of SmackDown was great with Jade and setting up that 6-woman match that we said a few weeks ago we figured that would be the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall it's been taking shape pretty good. Let's start off with AEW Collision on Saturday. I have not watched Collision yet except for the Open, the Cope Open, so to speak, and lo and behold, that guy right there, a former ally of Adam Copeland, answers the Cope Open challenge. They have a banger of a match to kick off Collision. He was on Impact this week as well. The indie god is being the TV god this week, appearing in multiple promotions. As of now, he is still a free agent. But what were your thoughts on Matt Cardona answering the Cope Open?
It was honestly poetic, because prior to Collision on Saturday night, somebody on Twitter was like, who do you want to see answer the Cope Open tonight? And I said, I just want to be surprised. I want it to be, I want the music to hit. I want to be surprised. I want the Cope Open to go back to the days when Cody Rhodes was TNT champion and he was doing the Open Challenge, and you never knew who might show up. Sometimes it's somebody on the roster, sometimes it's an indie guy, sometimes it's somebody completely unexpected that you would have never predicted to appear. That I loved that time with the TNT title when Cody was doing things. So if that's what the Cope Open is going to be, sometimes we get people on the actual AEW roster. Sometimes we get surprises from other companies or indie guys or whatever. I'm here for it. Bring back that type of excitement to that championship, and do like, oh, he's got a Cope Open, I got to tune in, because who knows who his opponent could be.
Man, it'd be badass if Brian Myers is the next one.
Like when that music started, I lost my damn mind. Because
not many people in the arena caught on
Matt Cardona's theme. Not until his name hit the Tron.
Yeah.
But when his name hit the Tron, the crowd exploded. I knew the song based on the first couple notes. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I could name that tune in 2 notes.
Yeah, I never expected to see Matt Cardona in AEW again. So to see him there, to see him get the reaction from that crowd. The crowd was super hot into this match.
Yeah, they were booing him. He was the heel taking on the Canadian. So
I thought it was tremendous. I thought it was a great way to kick off Collision. Like Collision a couple weeks ago, like I think 2 weeks back, because they were off the week in between. Like besides 2 matches, I thought it was a pretty meh show. Like nothing really to to deal with. I thought from beginning to close, I thought Collision, with the exception of the Acclaimed interview, because I thought that was another waste of my time, But other than that, I thought everything on Collision hit on Saturday, and I thought that was a true return to form for their show on Saturday night. I'm excited to see where they go this weekend. I don't expect them to go trying to hit a home run this weekend. It's a pre-tape show. And at 11:30 at night, I don't even know how many people are going to be tuning in because a lot of people are going to be tired after Mania. But beyond that, like in the weeks ahead, I'm really excited to see what they do with Collision because I thought Saturday's show in particular was a damn good show.
Yeah, I'll catch up on Collision here tomorrow probably, and I probably won't watch Collision live. I'll probably watch GCW live. So, save Collision for the DVR next week as well. After the match,
and Eddie Kingston were two of the big people in Cody's TNT Open Challenge thing. So,
yep.
And speaking of Cody, Cody confirmed this weekend in an interview that he has signed a new multi-year deal with WWE, which will put him past 40 years old. When he initially said a few years ago he intended to retire as an in-ring competitor at 40. I no longer see that to be the case. And he doesn't see that to be the case either. And I personally don't think he's going to retire anytime soon because the man's way too hot right now. And he's at the top of the freaking industry. And I think it would be insanity to see him just willingly walk away from it all. So I don't believe we're going to see that. I don't believe we're going to see Cody painting up those boots anytime soon. I really don't.
Daddy didn't retire till 65. Dustin's going in his 50s. Yeah, he's not going to retire. I don't think
I could see him scaling back, but I don't see him retiring anytime soon. I really
which is a possibility, which unlike in the past. Plus, if you ever watch any documentary on the Rhodes family, Dusty couldn't scale back. He had to keep going to provide for his family at the time. So,
I'm sure Cody's been a lot better with his money in this day and age, knowing what he's doing. So that I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
And then after the match, lights go out.
MK, we'll talk about this in the when we predict WrestleMania 40. So don't worry about that. We're gonna get the Roman and Cody and everything else WrestleMania results wise later on.
After the match, the lights go out. Malachi Black staring down Adam Copeland. Buddy Matthews attacks. Mark Briscoe makes the save. And then Brody comes in. And then who evens up the odds? But Eddie Kingston setting up a big 6-man tag match. Is that Dynasty? Is that locked in for Dynasty?
Yeah, that's locked in for Dynasty. Copeland made the challenge later on the show, and then it was made official. So yeah, big trios match at Dynasty. I think that should be a damn good match.
Moving on to the road to WrestleMania, of course, kicking off with Cody. Big stare down with the Rock. Rock didn't say any words except, he said some words to Cody. And then Jackie Redmond tried to get it out of him, and he said to go ask Cody. Then CM Punk came out. I thought the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre thing was absolutely great with Seth Rollins.
The Punk McIntyre Rollins thing, to me, was the best thing on Raw last month.
That was so good, and it was
very fun, very entertaining. I thought it was the best thing to come out of that show last week.
The chosen one. Who named you that? Say his name. Punk.
Yeah, you ain't that dumb.
Oh, Punk. That was a hell of a segment there. We got a couple of teams that are in the ladder match fighting DIY and Kofi Kingston. That ladder match is going to be so much fun, man. I can't wait. Andrade, there's a guy.
I wish Street Profits were in it, but now we know why they're not.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense.
The Philadelphia street fight.
I mean, we've got a lot of gang warfare in WrestleMania this year. So.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy Street Profits are getting on the show. I'm happy Bobby Lashley gets a spot too, and I definitely think they need to win this match over.
They have to, because they've been getting their asses handed to them in this feud.
Yeah, I'm not buying into this group. It's so whatever.
Well, see, I was gone Friday, so I knew ahead of time the Street Profits were losing, and I'm like, oh, great, they're gonna break this up with Bobby Lashley. Then, of course, I'm watching SmackDown. I realize, oh, Lashley and B-Fab get attacked in their room, and because when they were doing that whole champagne thing, I'm like, oh, fuck, they're gonna break up.
Yeah,
But,
when they posted the celebration thing ahead of time, I'm like, great, they're gonna lose. That to me that they kind of really telegraphed it, and I wish they wouldn't have. But to me,
yeah,
Montez Ford with a ladder in a stadium, I feel like
yeah,
this was a missed opportunity.
exactly.
Like, but Lashley needs to be on the show, so
Yeah.
I get it. But
I
think
figured
it would've been
Andrade,
great.
they should have found something for Andrade.
Dude,
to
Andrade
do.
stuck in the damn Andre Battle Royal on Friday.
I know. I figured
They haven't done jack shit with him since he's been back. It's been utter disappointment.
I thought Ray's tag partner was going to be Andrade, and that was going to add to this real intrigue that Andrade and Dominic are getting buddy, and then Judgment Day is thinking Dominic's going to bail on them to go with the LWO. I thought that would be the dynamic, but then Dragon Lee. But then you notice how many times they showed Carlito's face after Dragon Lee got announced. Carlito's turning on the LWO completely. He probably costed them.
I really hope not.
I bet he's costed him at me. They kept showing his grumpy face after Ray announced Dragon Lee was his partner at WrestleMania.
They flip flop Carlito way too much. I don't need to see him turning heel. Like, if it means that he's going to get a push,
yeah,
fine. But I don't want to see him with Legato.
No.
Like, to me, like,
makes no sense.
To me, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No, his feud should be with.
If you're gonna turn Carlito, he needs to turn on his own, and he needs to be doing it for himself, and no other reason. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping they don't do that, because I want to see more from Carlito from the babyface side of things before they turn him heel again, because you got him, dude. He's going to be approaching Big Show Kane levels.
Yeah, right.
If he does a heel turn on this weekend.
But on the flip side, the year that Dragon Lee has had, I'm kind of happy that he's on the WrestleMania card just because of how well he's performed. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I still think this should have been a big 8-man. I
thought it was going to be another gang
mixed tag.
Yeah, I thought it would be another Philadelphia
Get Elektra and Zelina involved.
Yeah,
and then they weaseled Dominic into this for no freaking reason whatsoever. Like, we already did the Dominic and Ray shit last year. We didn't need to do it again this year. There's been no story that connects them over the past year that they needed to be going back to this.
Yeah,
so honestly, I was annoyed. I felt like they really screwed over the other members of LWO and Legato.
Yeah.
Just so they could weasel Dominic into this.
There's either going to be a big swerve to where Carlito screws Ray and Dragon, or Dom turns on. This is going to be a hell of a turn, but especially to get the crowd to not boo him anymore, which I don't think they wanted. That's why I'm thinking this is the lesser of the two, but he turns on Legato and helps. And then maybe the Judgment Day, because obviously Rhea gets cheered. So, and you could easily cheer Priest and Balor. Dom's the hardest one to get cheered. So if he turns and they reconcile with Ray, that's a good way to bring him in and turn him back to babyface. I doubt they do that.
Definitely don't see that happening.
No, but that segment with Rhea and Becky and Dom was great. Dom took a punch like a champ. That added to the feud that has been lacking. Bronson Reed beating Sami Zayn makes me think even more Sami Zayn's going to win. We'll get to that.
Well, they're rematching tonight.
Are they? Oh, so
clearly Sami's going to get his win back, but I hated this on Monday because to me,
I thought it was the opposite of what you thought. So
to me, you don't book Sami in a match to lose on the road to facing the unstoppable champion. Like, to me, like, it was ass backwards booking. Didn't like it. I liked Gable coming to him afterwards and kind of being like the Apollo to his Rocky. And he's like, he's going to train Sami up, and I'm sure Gable's probably going to be in his corner tonight when he beats Bronson. It's fine.
Turn on him after he wins.
Well, that's my big worry is, like, Gable costs Sami the match at WrestleMania when he's in his corner or something.
Well,
like
going
that.
into it,
I think that would suck. I do. when he lost the gauntlet match, I said Gable's probably going to turn after WrestleMania, but now I'm thinking he might even turn at WrestleMania. So do we really need Gable turning and Carlito turning and everybody turn? We don't need everybody turning at WrestleMania this weekend. Let's keep it simple.
Going
keep it
into
simple, please.
As soon as Sammy was announced the winner, I kind of thought Gunther was going to retain at Mania. So, but then Sammy lost to Bronson. I said, "Oh no, they're going to do this comeback story in Sam." So for me, his loss Monday further cemented that Sammy might win. I don't know. We'll get to that in a minute. But how about the end of Raw? Holy shit. One of the best ends of Raw in some time. Rock and Cody Rhodes in the rain. It rained and even made it even better. But that weather was cold. Hopefully none of them boys caught a cold out there. But Rock just absolutely beating the dog shit out of Cody Rhodes. We got color in WWE programming as well. What were your thoughts on the end of Raw with Cody and the final boss?
You mean Samoa Joe?
Samoa Joe.
That's the final boss.
Oh yeah. Or Maya was it Satomura?
Miko Satomura, yeah.
Miko Satomura.
There's too many final bosses in professional wrestling. Sorry, Rock, you ain't it. Cody needs to have a Stone Cold Steve Austin type moment on Raw tonight.
Beat the fuck out of everybody.
To go into WrestleMania weekend. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know how they're gonna execute it, but to me, Cody needs his Stone Cold moment on Raw tonight to really propel that last setup for everything that we're going to see this weekend at WrestleMania. We can't have typical, what do you want to talk about, Cody, tonight? Cody needs to be there. Cody needs to be pissed. And Cody needs to be out for blood. And if that's not the Cody we get tonight, honestly, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
Yeah, and SmackDown was a lot of fun too. The qualifying matches were good. Again, the story with Jade was good. Before we get to the predictions, let's get into the big story that came out on Fightful Select today. And we kind of
first
watch it. Well, it's kind of all tied together basically because they're both they're both related. Of course, today the documentary for the Bray Wyatt documentary came out today. I've watched about half of it. I got up to the point where Bray got released. Boy, there's already been some tears in that first half. Matt says just wait till the second half. Oh boy. But Fightful Select has put out an article today saying the long-awaited return of Bo Dallas is very well could be happening. At least it's being hinted at. As you could tell, if you watched the documentary in the beginning, Bo is talking with Jason, who is one of the head kind of effects guys that Bray's been working with for many years. And he says a specific line in the beginning that he wants, that they're looking to continue the legacy or something like that. I can't remember the exact wording. I'll have to go back and watch it again for the exact wording, but they very well hinted that that Bo is going to return and carry on the legacy of Bray Wyatt. And Fightful confirmed that there is talks about that.
So, I feel the after credit scene of the doc gave it away.
Oh yeah, did it? Okay.
Because there's a lantern sitting there, and they do all the flashes of the screen and stuff, and the lantern relights, and it says "run," and then a flash, and then there's a shadow of a figure looming over the newly lit lantern, and that's how it ends.
Nice.
So clearly that's Bo. He kind of still looked like the Uncle Howdy get up, but I would imagine if he's going to come back, he's going to have a new kind of a revamped new look of his gear.
I think
when he retires, I'm really excited to see what they end up doing with him when he comes back. I think carrying on the legacy of his brothers is seems to be extremely important to him, and I think he's going to do it justice.
And he has not had a fair shake on the main roster outside of the B team. But the B team got over organically, and that's what led to tag team championships for him and McGillicuddy or Axelmania. He's still in the Royal Rumble, by the way. My guess is there's going to be two personas. There's going to be, just like Bray Wyatt and Fiend, there's going to be, whatever name you're going to come up with for the person of Bo Dallas. Obviously not going to be Bo Dallas anymore. I don't know what name they would come up with, but they'll come up with a name for the regular persona, and then they'll have Uncle Howdy. I think they'll have the two sides.
Use his real name.
Yeah, could.
Like they didn't
Taylor
shy
Rotunda?
away. Yeah, they didn't shy away from it in the doc. They embraced using their real names. Why the hell not? The Rotunda name still carries a lot of weight in my mind, in my heart.
And there's a Rotunda getting inducted into the Hall of Fame on Friday.
So why the hell not? Just go with his real name.
I'm calling it now. Monday after, I'm calling it Raw after WrestleMania when he comes back, because this stuff was filmed a long time ago.
I
think Raw after WrestleMania.
I've heard WWE intends. They have intentions of trying to knock Raw after WrestleMania out of the park this year. They know that Vince's changes last year caused that episode to shit the bed, and it was a pretty bad episode of Raw.
And it's been years of bad episodes of Raw after WrestleMania.
I feel WWE knows this is probably the most important Raw after WrestleMania in the last decade.
Yeah.
So they really need to come out and hit this, and they need to hit a home run with next Monday's Raw. And I think they're prepared to do that. And I think a return of Bo and under whatever name they want to use to carry on Bray's legacy as one of the surprises will be huge. I think, probably an NXT call up or two. Like I think they're going to go all out to try to make next Monday's Raw as special as humanly possible.
I hope so. Let's get into, we got 17 minutes till Dick Wolf writes us off. Actually, no, 911's on tonight, so it ain't Dick Wolf. But anyways, we'll still call Dick Wolf our producer. He's our
lost your Dick Wolf's lingo. It doesn't work anymore, pal.
Dickless Wolf. Let's start off with Friday, Supercard of Honor. It is Friday night, live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Liacouras Center. And now I've not been watching Ring of Honor. I gave up on it just because I think Tony Khan gave up on it, so I quit paying for it. But Matt, you cover it for WrestleZone, correct?
I do.
So you are well versed. Let's start off with the tournament final for the ROH Women's World Television Championship. Billy Starks against Queen Aminata. Both are very, very deserving, I think, of this title. But my assumption, even though not watching the product much lately, my assumption is they'll give it to the more established name in Billy Starks.
I think this is Billy Starks' title to win. I think this title was created for Billy Starks. I don't think this title was created with Queen Aminata in mind. Queen Aminata has lost multiple times on AEW programming. I believe she's undefeated in ROH. I think.
Yeah, and she's like winless on AEW.
No, she has one or two wins in AEW.
Oh, does she?
So, yeah, okay. She does. But I feel like they're not shy about having her lose matches. I feel like I do truly believe this title was created for Billy Starks, and this tournament was done to showcase her. It's going to be an excellent match. I definitely see Billy Starks leaving with the gold on Friday night.
And everybody in the chat, put in there what you think as well as we go match by match. Next up is the World Television Championship between Kyle Fletcher and Lee Johnson. With Kyle Fletcher being a little more prominent on the main roster with the Callis family, do you think he drops it to Big Shotty?
I hate this match. I hate it. And I talked about it last Thursday. For months, like, you haven't been watching, so you don't know this. And anybody who hasn't been keeping up with weekly programming won't know this either. But for months, there has been a storyline with Ethan Page racking up wins to challenge Kyle Fletcher for the television championship. And in the past couple weeks, all of a sudden Ethan Page disappears from programming. And they give this storyline to Lee Johnson with no rhyme or reason. We know Ethan Page ain't hurt. He's all over social media. He's doing the indie stuff. Like, what the hell happened? Yeah. One of my biggest pet peeves in professional wrestling across the board is when a storyline is just dropped with no rhyme or reason. Look, if plans changed, fine. But say Ethan Page got injured in the gym. He's not going to be able to compete
Yeah.
at Supercard of Honor. And then Lee Johnson, finds his opportunity to earn this title match.
They had something with him and
Explain
Scorpio,
something.
man.
Yes.
They had something with him and Scorpio.
In the storyline was Scorpio was going to be there to support Ethan to his quest for the television championship. Then a couple weeks in, Scorpio Sky disappears. Then like a month and a half later, Ethan Page disappears. It doesn't make any sense, and you can't keep people invested in a weekly television product if you're doing a long-term story like that and you just suddenly drop it out of nowhere and expect people to forget about it. Yeah. Ring of Honor TV is at its best when it's 60 to 90-minute intervals and no longer than that. But the stories need to remain consistent. And they're not doing consistent stories over there right now. And for that, like, to me, Ring of Honor is just like their pay-per-views always hit. Every single one of their pay-per-views have been great under the Tony Khan era. I have no doubt Supercard of Honor Friday night is going to be awesome. But the weekly TV product needs a lot of help. It needs a lot of help, and they need to fix it after Supercard of Honor if they want to continue to believe that people will continue to subscribe to this app. And the only reason I subscribe to this app is because I have to cover it, every Thursday night here on WrestleZone. Because if I didn't have to cover it, I would literally only subscribe the months that their pay-per-views were on it, and then I would unsubscribe. It would be that simple with Ring of Honor right now.
You got any thoughts on the Stardom Showcase?
I think it's going to be a great match. I have no clue who's going to win. I would coin flip this, but I think it's going to be a really great match. And I do like seeing slowly but surely the collaboration between AEW/ROH and Stardom finally working together under a new president. I think this is a good thing. I think we'll see Stardom involvement with Forbidden Door this summer. I expect a great match from the Stardom Showcase.
Women's World Championship, Athena Hikaru Shida.
You got to think of unless they're moving Athena over to AEW again, I feel like Athena has to retain. If they're going to, I think Hikaru Shida would be a great Ring of Honor Women's Champion if they're going to swap them for a bit.
Yeah, I think that and they almost should.
If they're gonna move Athena back to Ring of Honor and they're gonna let Hikaru run things on Ring of Honor for a bit, I do the title change and I bring Athena over into AEW. I think honestly that'd be a great idea.
Especially with Stardom's involvement, it'd almost be a great idea for that.
Honestly, I don't know how long Miro's going to be out. He's out with an injury. He's dealing with personal issues with CJ. One of the good things I'll say about Tony is when wrestlers need time off, they get the time off. So Miro will be back when Miro is ready. When he's ready to be back.
Fight Without Honor, Johnny TV and Dalton Castle.
Castle has to win this. Has to win this. He's been the butt of Johnny TV and Taya's jokes for the last 2 months. To me, this is an absolute 110% must win for Dalton Castle on Friday night.
And in the main event, is it finally time to crown Mark Briscoe?
I do. I 100% do. Eddie hasn't been a feature character on Ring of Honor programming since he won the Triple Crown.
He's been on AEW more.
Yeah, and he the only time you really see him on ROH is for a quick vignette or whatever, but I think he's maybe had 1 or 2 matches on Ring of Honor since becoming the Triple Crown champion. It may only be 1 match. But it's time for him to drop it. If he's not going to be there, then there's no reason for him to hold the title. I think Ring of Honor, I think Briscoe's. So Mark Briscoe finally, completing his dream of doing that on the 11-year anniversary of the day Jay won the Ring of Honor World Championship for the first time.
Absolutely.
To me, that story writes itself. To me, Mark Briscoe becomes the new Ring of Honor World Champion on Friday night.
NXT Stand and Deliver. I'm caught up, and man, I've loved the build of this. I think this is going to be a tremendous show. Tag team titles, the Wolf Dogs, Corbin and Breaker. I'm assuming they're taking on the OC, so let's just pencil in the OC. If not, I'd say Axiom and Nathan Frazier can.
I think it's going to end up being a multi-team match of some
Think
sort.
so.
Who comes
out? Who comes out with that? Because obviously Braun's getting called up, and Baron might be following
Braun's
him.
already on the main roster. So, like, to me, like this title reign has to be short-lived. I believe I want to give WWE the benefit of the doubt of the reason the Good Brothers are down in NXT right now. I believe Tama Tonga is heading there, and there's no better.
Does he show up?
There's no better way to set up Tama to succeed in WWE than to immediately pair him with people that he knows and he's comfortable with. So I'm gonna say Good Brothers get the titles on Saturday thanks to Tama Tonga. I debut Tonga at the premium live event, and I have him help them win the titles. That's what I would do anyway.
Roxanne Perez's heel turn has been tremendous. I've really loved her work as a heel so far, and I'm thinking she's taking the title against Lyra Valkyria.
I hope so. Lyra Valkyria is so boring to me. I don't. There's nothing about her that's interesting to me. She's very, very bland. Yeah, she's a great wrestler, but there's great wrestlers across every single company right now, and to me, you have to be more than just a great wrestler to be carrying a championship in 2024. I really want to see Roxanne Perez win that title on Saturday. I have had my fill of the Lyra Valkyria reign. Let's move on.
Our beef match of the night for the NXT North American Championship: Obafemi, Dijak, Josh Briggs. Who do you got there, man?
No way Obafemi drops this title. Dijak's contract's coming up, so they're not gonna put a title on him when he's still, negotiating a new deal. If this was like 3 months from now and Dijak had signed a new deal, I'd be like, this could be a Dijak Penn and Briggs thing, and him leaving with the championship. But unless they lock Dijak down to a new deal this week, I don't see Obafemi losing. And when Obafemi does lose, it will be in a match like this. They're going to protect him. And when he does drop this title, I don't think he'll be the one taking the pin.
Yeah, his rise has been insane, so they're going to definitely protect him.
Yeah.
NXT Championship: Ilya Dragunov against Tony D'Angelo. After seeing the earlier news on Ilya about how they're going to give him probably a major push on the main roster once he drops the title, that just told me he's dropping the title to the family on Saturday. No, I don't think so, huh?
As much as that would entertain me, I don't believe Dragunov's coming up to the main roster anytime soon. And I do believe he retains. I believe when it's time for Dragunov to drop that title, it will be to Trick Williams. Trick will get his revenge on Ilya in a fair one-on-one match, and that is Trick's title to win. I don't want to see Trick Williams versus Tony D'Angelo. To me, that screams ludicrousy. And don't get I like Tony D, but Tony D is not. Tony D's character is not an NXT champion. Tag champion, sure. North American champion, sure. The NXT champion of the brand, I don't see it.
If they tone down with some of the stereotypes, maybe, and not make it as campy, and of course, one of the best told stories in recent history, probably since Gargano and Ciampa, one of the best told stories in NXT, Trick and Carmelo. I think it's obvious that Trick's winning. Carmelo says goodbye. Carmelo shows up maybe at WrestleMania. Who knows? But
Raw after Mania maybe, but he ain't showing up at Mania.
WrestleMania. These are the matches that are to be announced for what day they're going to show up on. Latino World Order, Mysterio and Dragon Lee against Santos and Dirty Dom. I'm going to say Santos and Dom win this one because I think Carlito's screwing him.
Well, yeah, because Dom lost to Ray last year, so I'm assuming they're doing this to let him get his win back. Unfortunately, I think
obviously
this match is an utter waste of time, and it's a disservice to both factions. But whatever. Every WrestleMania needs a bathroom break.
Dom is oh shit, this is gonna be a good match. What do you mean bathroom break? There's 4 good wrestlers here.
Yeah, well,
Dom,
there's 13 to 14 good matches over 2 nights. You got to get up to go at some point.
nah, just pee in the cup.
This is my match.
I think this is obvious, but Bianca, Jade, and Naomi ain't gonna lose to Damage Control.
There's to me, there's no way in hell that those women that lose to Damage Control.
Triple threat for the United States title: Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. I think Logan retains, and I think Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are going to be a tag team until one turns on the other, and that's your SummerSlam match. Because I think it's going to be LA Knight and Logan Paul.
I'm probably completely out of my mind. I'm going to say Kevin Owens.
Ooh, I don't hate it because I love Kevin Owens, but I just think Logan Paul and LA Knight are on a collision course at SummerSlam. I think Orton and Owens are going to have a tag run. They may have the belts. If they split the belts, they may actually have a run with them. And then as soon as they drop them, somebody's going to turn on the other, and that's your SummerSlam match. So I think Logan's going to retain. Brother versus brother. Jay and Jimmy.
Oh, this is Jay's match to win.
I keep seeing a lot of good arguments for Jimmy to win, but Jay.
Well, I can understand the arguments. It would probably do more for Jimmy, but I feel Jay needs to get his justice and revenge for Look, in all rights and reasons, storyline wise, Jay should be Intercontinental Champion right now.
There's a lot of talk.
Jimmy cost him that title, so Jay needs to get it. Jay needs to get right with Jimmy on WrestleMania this weekend.
There's a lot of talk that Gunther's going to retain, and Jay is built back up to beat him. So I don't know,
it could happen. Jay, I'm not rolling that out.
My boy, first WrestleMania match, LA, yeah, taking on AJ Styles. This is going to be a damn good match. It was a mediocre build that turned into a good build.
Yeah, obviously LA been very good.
Obviously, LA Knight winning, as he's going to probably get the U.S. title at SummerSlam.
Yeah, they haven't done anything of substance with AJ in a long time, and I don't foresee it starting this weekend.
No.
I do believe LA Knight wins, but if AJ Styles comes out to evil ways, I'm going to lose my damn mind. I'm going to lose my mind.
Oh, this one's going to steal the show. 6-pack ladder match, Judgment Day, DIY, Awesome Truth, New Day. A-Town Down Under, which I've heard rumors they may get pulled from that match.
It's a Meltzer thing. I'm not sure how much I'm buying into it.
I didn't realize it was a Meltzer thing.
It's from Meltzer.
And New Catch Republic. I think we're both in the same, based on our conversations the past few shows, we're probably both in the same boat. Awesome Truth winning.
I think this is awesome. I think this is R-Truth's WrestleMania moment. He's never won at WrestleMania. Yeah. I think he's 0-8. So I think this is R-Truth's big WrestleMania moment. I think they win. If they don't, I would go an outside shot to DIY.
Quickly, we got 1 minute left.
Yeah, let's roll.
Gunther, Sami Zayn. I'm going Gunther. I'm going Gunther because I think Sami Zayn.
I'm going to say Sami just to go against you.
As soon as you said Sami's fighting him again tonight, Sami's going to win. I think Gunther's going to retain. I think Jey Uso dethrones
It's
him.
a coin flip. Let's move on.
Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. I think Rhea retains. I have not seen anything that really yells at me that Becky's winning this.
I'll go Becky just to be contrarian again.
We all know Bayley's beating the Io Sky.
Yes, absolutely. I can't be contrarian on that. Bayley's got that.
Are we going? Okay, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre.
Drew.
I'm going Drew because I think Priest is going to cash in on Cody a month after he's won the title. Within a month after he's won the title.
That's not happening. Cody's moving to SmackDown afterwards.
Damien could cash in on anybody.
Damien's not cashing in on Cody.
Who's going to cash in on the women's champ?
He'll probably cash in and make it a triple threat, and his dumbass will get pinned on Sunday.
We're on an agreement with the Bloodline winning.
Bloodline
so
wins
all the odds are stacked.
Bloodline has to win night 1, so Cody can win on night 2.
Yeah, all the odds
Cody
are
has
stacked
to win.
against Cody. John Cena and Stone Cold are going to help Cody win. I'd love to see Dustin.
It's going to be overbooked amazingness.
I would love to see that Forbidden Door open and see Dustin Rhodes help him out. Probably not going to happen, but I would love to see it. All right, we are looking at something. What the hell is this? Oh, they're showing them setting up in Philly right now, and
All right, so
And
yeah, it's Raw time, people.
it's Raw time, baby. Thank you for tuning in to Lost the Midcard. Enjoy WrestleMania weekend. We'll be back next Monday with a lot of reviewing to do. Have a great week. We'll see you next